Have you noticed something strange? An entrepreneur builds his business. It's 1 crore, then 5 crores, then 10 crores, even 25 crores. Yet, very few people say that I've made it. Instead, the conversation usually becomes, यार बस एक माइलस्टोन और, बस 1 साल और मेहनत कर लो, यार बस एक ही टारगेट रह गया है. And that's why most entrepreneurs don't feel finished. ऐसा नहीं है कि वो सक्सेसफुल नहीं हुए, but they have never defined a finish line. Most people think entrepreneurs work for money. It might be true in the beginning when you're trying to survive, trying to build a support for your family, create a sense of security, and to build some stability. But after a while, money just becomes a scoreboard. Growth becomes addictive, and progress becomes your identity. That's when things become dangerous. Because if your goal is just more, then you'll never survive. And this is where I've noticed something very interesting. Being a CA and working with entrepreneurs and founders for more than a decade, that people are busy something which I will call an income engine. Unka business, unka profession, their active income. But very few intentionally build what I call the freedom engine. Assets that continue to support your income even when you're not actively working. And honestly, that's where I believe many entrepreneurs get stuck. Because they keep improving their income without improving their freedom. Think about it how this usually works. पहला गोल होता है यार बस 1 करोड़ कमा लूं, आई विल बी सक्सेसफुल. उसके बाद आप सोचते हो मैं 5 करोड़ कमाऊं, फिर 10 करोड़, उसके बाद बड़ा ऑफिस, बड़ी टीम, बेटर लाइफस्टाइल, बड़ा घर. Numbers change, but the pattern does not. And here's something which nobody talks about. A milestone feels like a success only until you have not achieved it. एक बार अचीव होने के बाद वो बड़ा नॉर्मल लगता है. This is why I believe every entrepreneur should have one simple rule. Every milestone should be celebrated with wealth extraction. Not lifestyle expansion, not 100% reinvesting in the business, wealth extraction. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, बिजनेस ग्रो कर रहा है, प्रॉफिट बढ़ गया इस साल, कोई लिक्विडिटी इवेंट हुआ, ग्रेट, वंडरफुल, सेलिब्रेट इट. बट देन आस्क, हाउ मच ऑफ दिस सक्सेस आई एम कन्वर्टिंग इनटू फ्रीडम? बिकॉज इफ अचीवमेंट ओनली इंक्रीजेज योर लाइफस्टाइल, आप सक्सेसफुल तो मे बी हो जाओगे, but you will never be more independent. Unfortunately, people realize this only after a shock. जैसे कोविड आ गया, बिजनेस स्लो डाउन हो गया, कोई मार्केट डिसरप्शन हो गया, या जैसे कि आज हम जियोपॉलिटिकल टेंशन के बीच. And suddenly the question changes. Not how much more I can make, but what happens if things slow down? And suddenly people realize something uncomfortable, that their lifestyle entirely depends on their next business month. And that's why I believe every entrepreneur should work on their freedom engine. Now, freedom engine हर एक के लिए अलग अलग हो सकता है. It might be income generating real estate asset, some diversified investments, some cash flow generating assets, or even maybe strategic reserves. कौन सा एसेट है ये इंपॉर्टेंट नहीं है, द प्रिंसिपल इज इंपॉर्टेंट. और प्रिंसिपल क्या है? Build assets that work independent from you. Because if part of your lifestyle is dependent on these assets, then the pressure changes, the psychology changes, and the decision making changes. This is where I believe every entrepreneur should define three numbers. First is lifetime number. How much of a good lifestyle genuinely cost? Not comparison, not social media, your life. Second is freedom number. At what point working becomes optional rather than a necessity? And third number is the legacy number. What impact do you think your wealth should leave beyond yourself? For your family, for your community, for your future generations. Without these three numbers, the target just simply becomes more. और more की कभी finish line नहीं होती. I'm not saying that ambition is bad. Ambition की वजह से भाई business बना है, wealth बनी है, success आई है. The problem is not ambition. The problem is not having a destination. And perhaps the finish line is not 10 crore, 20 crore or 50 crores. Perhaps the finish line is the day when your next business month does not determine your peace of mind. The day these assets start taking the load of your lifestyle. The day working becomes a choice and not a necessity. Because most entrepreneurs don't want to stop working. They want a choice. That's when success starts feeling different. If you are an entrepreneur or a business owner, I would love to know which one lifestyle you thought would make you feel that I've arrived but did not. And if you enjoy discussions around investor psychology, capital allocation, and building long-term freedom through real estate investments, subscribe to Real Estate with Sidhan.